No dehydrator? No problem. No juicer? Still no problem. I'm sharing recipes today that are raw, vegan, and don't require anything other than a blender. And guess what? It's not another kale salad, and it's not another smoothie bowl. Stick around and check out these delicious recipes that I'm sharing today. So this morning I started my day really simple, just a bowl of some of my favorite fruit. I have on hand some oranges, some bananas, and I had one mango, but it went in the bowl of fruit. And this is a great combo. So I like to top this one with some shredded coconut, some ground flaxseed and hemp seed mixed together, and you can add whatever you like to the top of the fruit. Just a pinch of salt for those electrolytes. So this is a great start to the morning. This is a delicious bowl of food. You could also add some raw yogurt if you like, or some other chopped nuts, and use whatever fruit you like. It's so simple. You know, I think a lot of times we overcomplicate what we're eating, right? We want to make sure we're getting all the nutrients we need. We're trying to be healthy. We're trying to stay on track. We're trying to follow this, follow that. It's not that complicated. Just eat whole, delicious food. Fruit is a great way to start. If you're new to raw eating, you don't have to juice everything. You don't have to dehydrate everything. You could just, eat fruit, eat vegetables. But if you're tired of, nothing but salad and plain fruit, mixing it up like this is really good. It gives you a little bit of variety. And these ideas today, look, they're going to be really simple meals, don't require a lot of ingredients or a lot of time. That's how I like to eat. So if that's something you're interested in, check out some of my other videos and make sure you like, subscribe, and comment and tell me what you think. Share some ideas with me. Maybe there's things out there that I haven't tried that you love. I really like to have snacks on hand. I like to snack, especially when I'm home and off during the day. I stay busy and I don't really sit down a lot to eat big meals, but I will snack throughout the day and have a larger meal in the evening. That's what works for me. You do whatever works for you. Now you could just snack on more fruit, some vegetables, but I'm going to show you two really easy, really delicious snack recipes. One sweet and one savory. So let's start with the sweet one. A strawberry macadamia nut ice cream. Still no special equipment, just a blender. So this recipe starts by just soaking about a cup of macadamia nuts and 2 to 3 dates in some warm water for about 10 to 15 minutes. I have just drained the water from my macadamia nuts and my dates, and I'm just going to add those to my blender. Now, I like macadamia nuts for this recipe because they have a really high fat content, and when you blend them up, they get really super creamy and rich. This is a really rich, satisfying snack or dessert or lunch or breakfast, however you like to have it. And I just have 2 cups of frozen strawberries. And I think I can fit this all in my blender. I may need my bigger cup, but we'll see. And I'm just using my regular NutriBullet blender for this. I might need just a little bit of water to get this going. But I'm going to check it out. Let's check it out. Let's see. Go ahead and add the rest of my strawberries in there, and I'm just going to use this same glass container to pour this in after I finish blending it up. And I did go ahead and add a little bit of water into this, about 1/4 cup, and I'm going to add a scoop of vanilla protein powder. This is Sun Warrior vanilla protein powder. I don't earn a commission, or I'm not sponsored or anything like that. I just really like the ingredients in this protein powder. Simple and delicious, just a plain basic vanilla protein powder, which is completely optional here. You don't have to add this. It is delicious without it. But I have goals to gain a little bit of muscle, so I'm trying to add a little bit of protein where I can. I've been going to the gym. I've been really working hard. I know a lot of us have, right? So just a little bit of protein powder in there, optional if you don't want to use it. So I'm just going to get this blended up the rest of the way. All right, and once that is blended nice and smooth and creamy, there we go. I'm just going to pour it back into my glass container. Look how rich and creamy and delicious that looks. I gotta try it. Oh, it is heavenly. It is so good. I'm just going to pour it in here and pop it back in the freezer so it can set up for, I don't know, probably 30-45 minutes. It'll be ready, but I'll be having this later, so I'm going to just pop it in there till I'm ready to come back for it. Which I said later, but will probably be pretty soon. It's so good. And for my savory snack, I'm making a dip. And no, it's not hummus or baba ganoush, which are both delicious. Both delicious. This one requires even less ingredients. It's walnut dip. And all I have is about 1.5 cups of soaked walnuts. And I'm just adding those to my blender with about half of the soaking liquid. You want to cover them completely and then drain off about half of the liquid. And that just depends on how thin or thick you want your dip. I want mine like medium. And y'all, this fly that's buzzing around. It's a very nice day outside today, and I am recording with the front door and the kitchen window open, so things keep flying in. It's kind of annoying, but as long as he doesn't bother me too much, I am going to just try to ignore him and invite him to go back outside. So my walnuts and my water, and for spices in this dip, you can use anything you want. I've got some salt, some crushed red pepper, and I have from out of last year's garden some herbs that I had dried that really need used up. I have some Mexican oregano and some dried dill and dehydrated green onion. So those are all going in, and that's what I'm using for spice. You can use whatever you like. Garlic powder, onion powder, a little bit of cumin and paprika in here would be fantastic also. I've made it like that. I make it different spices pretty much every time I make it, so it's not actually a recipe. It's just a dip, and add whatever spices you're in the mood for. And I am going to add a tablespoon of nutritional yeast. It's optional if you don't like nutritional yeast or don't have it on hand, prefer not to use it, just leave it out. I like the flavor of it, and it does add a little bit of richness to it, but it's not required. This turns out just fine without it. I need to get my lid on there right, y'all. Okay, and just blend until it's as smooth as you like it. And then I'll store this in the container in the refrigerator, and it's great for snacking with fresh vegetables like carrots, celery, bell peppers, some fresh green beans. Really awesome. Highly recommend. And for lunch today, I am having a beautiful carrot cucumber salad. Super easy, of course delicious, takes 5 minutes to make, and all I need is just these few ingredients. And I'm just going to make my dressing right in the bowl. And I have here 2 tablespoons each of balsamic vinegar and coconut aminos. Already good, right? You can tell it's already going to be good. And I have 1 tablespoon of maple syrup. You could use whatever sweetener you like or leave it out, but a little bit of sweetness to balance out the acidity in the vinegar is nice. And I have my spices. And I have here black and white sesame seeds, crushed red pepper, I have some ground ginger, ground garlic, some turmeric, and some black pepper. And I'll also add just a pinch of salt. And you could certainly grate up some fresh ginger and fresh garlic if you like, but when it comes to quick and easy, I really actually prefer using the ground, especially when it comes to ginger and garlic. They can get a little bit medicinal and get a little bit harsh on the stomach with the vinegar. So if you have that issue too, like I do, like a lot of people do, garlic is medicine. If you didn't know, garlic and ginger both, they're very medicinal. And when you eat them raw like that, if your body really doesn't need it, it can be a little bit harsh. So I like to use the ground and not too much, just enough to make it taste good. And I'm going in with a good pinch of salt there, and I'm just going to use my handy little vegetable peeler and just slice away into ribbons right into the bowl. And just the same with my carrots, just going to shred those up. And I have 1 green onion, and I'm going to do the same here and just shred it up into shreds. And then I'll just mix all of this together and lunch will be ready. So I'm just going to mix this around really well, get the dressing all over everything, give it a good mix. And I'm going to let this just kind of sit and hang out for about 20 minutes while I go and do some other things. And when I come back to it, it will be perfect. And I think I'll go sit outside with it and enjoy some sunshine and some vitamin D. Just going to top this with a few more sesame seeds, and this will be a delicious lunch. So obviously I couldn't wait any longer for my strawberry ice cream. I'm just going to scoop some out into a bowl, and let me show you how I serve this up. You can put any kind of topping that you would like on top of this ice cream. I had gone to the store to see if they had some fresh strawberries, and they did, but they were $7 a container. And I was like, you know what? I have some freeze-dried strawberries at home, and this is also really good with like some raw cacao nibs, if you can find those. I couldn't find any of those either, but this is so creamy and delicious. I think I could have let it set up a little bit longer, but I am getting ready to go for a run, and I just wanted a quick afternoon treat before I head out. This is so good. It is so good. You have to try. So pretty and so good. And before I go out for my run today, I just want to get some things prepped for my dinner. And tonight I thought I would make everybody's favorite tacos. Well, I don't know anybody who doesn't like tacos. Do you? So tonight I'm going to share my recipe for my super easy mushroom and sun-dried tomato tacos. This is the filling part. Super easy. I have just cleaned some cremini mushrooms, and chopped off the toughest part of the stem there. And I have just a handful of walnuts and a handful of sun-dried tomatoes. And I'll eat these in lettuce boats. You can find raw wraps, and you could even wrap it up into like a collard leaf and make a wrap. That's also delicious. But tonight I'm gonna have it kind of taco style in some little lettuce boats. But it is super easy. All I'm going to do is just get everything finely chopped. And if you felt like it, you could certainly just get out your food processor and pulse this up a couple of times. But just to keep it simple and accessible, anyone can do it. I think we all can chop some veggies. Most of us, don't let me cut my finger. Most of us are responsible enough with a knife to be able to chop some veggies. So I'm just going to get all of these finely chopped up, and I'll put them into my bowl and just kind of let this sit and hang out while I go for my run. You could do this the morning of or the night before you're going to have the tacos, or you could just do it after work when you come home. Quickly chop everything up, put it in a bowl. It doesn't need to sit for very long before the mushrooms and walnuts really soak up the flavor. You could do as little as like 10 to 15 minutes when you get home from work, and then while you sit and maybe, I don't know, watch YouTube or something, it can marinate, or while you chop your other veggies. But I wanted to have this already done, so when I get back from going for my run, I can do a few things around the house. I have some dishes to do and some laundry to do. So I want to have all of this done and out of the way. Just finishing chopping up my sun-dried tomatoes. I have already chopped up my mushroom and my walnuts. My mushrooms I like to leave a little bit bigger than the walnuts, just for texture, just for a little variation in texture there. And I like to go ahead and chop my sun-dried tomatoes pretty fine so that all of that nice umami flavor is really going through all of the taco filling. We want a little bit of that sun-dried tomato in every bite. It gives it that deep richness that you're looking for in a satisfying, savory meal. So I have these all nicely chopped. I'm just going to go into a bowl with these. Come back here, you. Make sure I get all of that. I worked so hard to chop it up. I want it all to go into the bowl, right? I don't want to waste any of it. It's good stuff. All right, and here I have the spices that I'm putting in my taco filling. So I just have some garlic powder, onion powder, I have some salt and black pepper, and I have some cumin and some chili powder. So just your basic taco seasoning. You could add some oregano or some smoked paprika or coriander to that if you like. And for the marinade that I have for it, I just have 1 tablespoon of liquid aminos and a couple tablespoons of water. The mushrooms, when the salt from the coconut aminos combines with the mushrooms, it's going to force them to release some of their water. So don't put too much water in here. You're just going to end up with like a soupy mess. So as this sits and marinates between the salt and the coconut aminos, the mushrooms will release some water too, and it will just kind of break down and give it a really nice texture. Back from my run and have sat down for a few minutes. Rock and I went for a walk, and I'm having a big glass of water while I chop up my veggies for my tacos. And you can see the filling for the taco meat has broken down some, and I did give it a taste. It is absolutely perfect and is going to be so delicious. And the texture is nice and chewy, and it just has a like a satisfying chew to it, if you if you understand that. So let me show you what I have for veggies. I'm gonna have some tomato. Of course, you can't have a taco without avocado. I've got some cilantro, some red onion, some red bell pepper, some orange bell pepper, and some radish sprouts, which are really good on tacos too. And I have a couple of early spring red onions out of the garden, and I really wanted the green tops of these too. And all of these wonderful, colorful veggies, all this good nutrition going into this meal. So let's put a couple of these together. I have all of my veggies chopped up, and I just have some little romaine leaves. I have the small, I'm just going to pinch the end off of a couple of these. They're a little bit wilted on the end. That's okay. They can go in the compost. My compost bowl over there. So I'm just going to put a couple of these together, show you what they look like, give one a taste. I'm just going to put my filling on the bottom, and you can make a sauce for this too. I didn't tonight, but sometimes I'll make like an avocado crema, but I was just keeping it really simple tonight. So a little bit of the sprouts, some of my bell peppers, some of my onion. Oh, these are going to be so good. A little cilantro, or a lot of cilantro. I really like cilantro, so I put a lot. And some of this perfect avocado. And how pretty is that? So pretty. So pretty, just like you. Let me give this a taste because I'm hungry. I really hope that you will try at least one of the recipes today. They're all so delicious, so easy to make, don't require any special equipment, and they're all simple ingredients. I just wanted to do this video today to show that raw, healthy, nutrient-dense foods don't have to be complicated and don't have to be intimidating. Look, this is super easy, and it's really good for you. It's good for your body. It's good for the planet. You know, all that good vegan stuff. Anyway, I hope you'll try it. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel and you like this kind of content, please consider subscribing. And if you're already subscribed, thank you so much. I appreciate it. And comment. Let me know what you think. And let me know which recipe you'd like to try, and maybe which recipes or any recipes that you'd like me to do next. I appreciate you guys watching so much, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!